Ronnie Elite. No, I believe that was intentional.
And I think I got one.
Like, well done. Shot.
Yeah, and I think I got one. Yeah, I got one.
What's going on, guys? It's Rick here, and welcome to a new kind of video on my channel where every week I'm going to be doing a weekly recap of the Solitude League. For those who don't know, the Solitude League is a league made up of 10 teams that were created by the three-man group of Rob, Lucas, and Tommy, who are the casters and analyst, who've put a lot of work into making this Season 1 of their Solitude League, which I am now taking a part of, and due to the fact that I enjoyed watching and playing in it so much that I've decided to make weekly recaps for them. So we're going to go through each one of the games. Like, it's going to be a quick, easy, bite-sized version of each series so you know what's going on. So in the opener of the season, we have E9 versus Team Rumor. And this was the beginning of the sweep streak, as it's the opener of the season, and it starts out in a sweep. Game 1 goes to E9, a 3-1. Game 2 goes to E9 in a 1-0 with an overtime. And Game 3 goes to E9 in a 5-3 win. Like, it started out as a sweep. And the way that they do stats in this is you get points for each thing, like goals, assists, saves, and shots. So you get points based off that. So for the two players that are on E9, Smashton and TalkGeo, and the people on Team Rumor, Kiev and Ballisto, Smashton came out swinging with 92 points this series. The second series of day 1 was Big Guy Incorporated versus Huya Esports. A second sweep, going to Big Guy. Game 1 in a 4-3. Game 2 in a 3-2 with an overtime. And Big Guy in a 5-2. So, another sweep. Once again, points, only this time, instead of it being low 50s and 40s, high 40s, with like a one outlier for Smashton, for this one, it's a 98, 78, 79, and 48. Really good stats here. Like, pretty good stats for the series, but a loss for Huya and a win for Big Guy. And for each of the days, there is a player of the day. So we know, or night, since all these games are at night. So for player of the night for day 1, went to Ranez for Big Guy Incorporated. Next up is Fatal Esports versus Y, aka literally me. Me and Thick Rick, teammates on Fatal Esports or Fatal Gaming, teamed up to join the Solitude League and started out with a 2-1, 6-5, and a 7-1. The 6-5 was an amazing comeback that we pulled off with an overtime victory, and I pulled out 124 points this game, with Rick getting 69, Shoot Me getting 78, and Tomaha getting 43. For day 2, went to me for my amazing points. Match number 2, or series number 2 for the day, was Supreme Rivals versus Speranza Elite. This was, once again, a sweep. The sweep streak is now at 4. Speranza Elite consisting of Strat and Hey Hey versus Supreme Rivals consisting of Redrum and King Knight. Supreme Rivals put up a fight in game 1 and 3. In game 2, they did not put up a single goal, and Speranza scored 4, 5, and 7. An incredible stat average. Putting together for Strat for 128 points, beating out my points, but due to the fact that they beat them very badly compared to how we had to do comebacks and overtimes, they just thought it would go to me due to the fact that one of my goals was the 0-second goal in game 1. And finally, Series number 3, Black Magic versus Best Buddies, a third sweep. Black Magic pulled out a 4-2, 5-0, and 3-2. This was a very interesting series due to the fact that Best Buddies is the, while Sopranta Elite is one of the best teams in the league, Best Buddies is one of the worst. Not trying to be mean here, they're just, compared to the Hey Hey being a GC in ones, they're all diamonds, and Carson, with having lag issues after this first series, they had to replace him with plats or diamonds, and it's gotten a lot worse. So yeah, not much to say in this series. It was just kind of really slow. So yeah, on to day 3. Day 3 started out with E9 versus Best Buddies, which we just heard about. E9 wiped the floor with them. That's not an exaggeration. The score line in Game 1 was 13-2. Game 2 was 5-2, and the third game was 8-4, scoring a bit more. This time, there being a sub for Carson in as in correct tone, as he subbed in for this series. Only pulling out 19 points compared to Talk Geo and Smashing's 143 and 115. A smashing series for them. Series number 2 for the day was Big Guy Incorporated versus Y. This is where I get to talk about the tragedy of Team Y. This game was probably the most upsetting for Team Y ever. Like, I'll put on a clip of the casters talking about it.
5-goal deficit for Team Y. Falling underneath the pressure of the third match. Once again.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I don't understand what they're doing wrong, in a sense.
Double commits.
It is double commits.
Double commits and misplays. Good shot from Shoot Me. A little off there. Reynez gets a good shot as well. Tomohan blocks it.
Reynez.
That's a 7th goal for Big Guy Inc.
Big Guy Inc. just dominating here in Game 3, closing this one out. It's safe to say that this one's over.
It's crazy that they pull out 2 overtime losses, and then just like they did against Fatal Gaming, they lose 9-1 in the third game. Just an insane margin that doesn't make any sense for Team Y. They had it. So with Ranez and Vincology, they pulled out almost 100 points each, with Shoot Me getting 68 and Tomahawk getting 66. Hopefully, next week, when we pull out with Team Y, that they can do better. The next time Y play is on Saturday versus Team Rumor, so hopefully they can pull out a win there, as Team Rumor is also at a loss right now. They are at, they're 1-1, which isn't too bad, but Team Y really needs to stop losing these Game 3s or Game 5s in scrims. Next up, we have Day 4. We start out with Fatal Esports with Supreme Rivals. Right now, the sweep streak ends. It stops at 7. Very disappointing for the casters, except for Tommy, who was delighted that there's no sweep streak. Supreme Rivals took this one in pretty upsetting fashion for Fatal Esports, only losing by 1 each game. At the one game, it was a 3-1 victory for Supreme. The one game that Fatal won was a 2-goal 5-3. And even though we lost, I still got the most points out of anyone on the pitch. It was really nice. Next up, we have Black Magic versus Sparanta Elite. As you would expect, Sparanta took this one in a fun fashion, scoring 5-3, 7-3, and 7-4. It was a great game. It was a great series. Just once again, Strat getting 116 points. Hey 79. Revitalization though, pulling out 91 points, higher than Hey and just pulling out for his team. it was a great game. Like, Black Magic has the ability to do great. Then we have Huya Esports versus Team Rumor. As we said before, Rumor was 1-1, and once again, the streak was stopped from Spranta Elite with a 3-1 victory to Rumor. Huya winning the second game, but every other game was a 1-0, 5-1, and 2-1. Player of the day for day 3 went to Ranez, the first person to get it twice. And for day 4, it went to Strat from Spranta Elite. Now, on to the final day of this week. First out, we started out with Spranta Elite and Best Buddies. As I said, this is the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. And the stats speak for themselves, but 5-1 to Spranta, 12-2 to Spranta, and 16-1 to Spranta. So, if you look at the stats, Hey got 200 points here. Points at the end of the season go to MVP votes that put you in the running for MVP, and right now they're basically 2 series ahead of anyone on the field. It is insane how well they played this series. Well, of course they're going to play well against Best Buddies, but I actually casted, casting/analyst for this game, since one of the casters had to sub in for Best Buddies. So here's some of my casting slash analyzation.
We have 15 viewers right now is nuts.
Wow.
If I was like watching, I wouldn't even want to be watching this.
I think it's for next game as well. Like, I think it's about to boost up a lot for next game as well.
So I mean, yeah, this is the matchup right here. Oh yeah.
I mean, we've kind of just, we haven't really even been casting. We've kind of just been talking. There's nothing to cast.
It's just Toronto domination, I imagine.
It's not even. They're only up by 5, and as I say that, that's 6.
That's domination.
No, compared to normal Best Buddies, like E9 versus Best Buddies, game 1 was 13 to like 1.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm gonna get on Rocket, and I will be in. This is game 3, right?
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
The final series of the day was Big Guy Inc. versus Supreme Rivals. This is now where the sweep streak begins again. As Spranta swept in the first game, we now have Big Guy Inc. versus Supreme Rivals, and Supreme Rivals took this in a fantastic challenge. 8-3, 4-3, and 6-5. If Big Guy had won game 2, I feel like it would have been a game 5 series, but they did not. They lost 4-3, and it was rough. And for this, we have Ranez, Vincology, not being able to pull out a victory, but Redrum and King Knight being able to pull through, and the player of the day for day number 5 went to King Knight from Supreme Rivals. Even though Hey and Strat got almost double his points, like, insane, it just didn't feel right for the casters to give it to someone that got an easy game and got as many points as possible. Just leave me a comment if you enjoy this content for anyone that's watching or has never ever seen or heard of the Solitude League. Please go follow them on Twitter and on Twitch. They put out great content for you guys every other day. Well, every single day except Fridays most of the time. This week was Friday. Next week will be Thursday, where they do 5 days in a row and then they stop. So it's going to be great. They do great content. Their casting's great. Rob with analytics is great. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know how to do it. And it's a $50 prize pool at the end of the season. And Season 2 is going to be even bigger and better. So please, go down the link in the description. Join their Discord, their Twitch, and their Twitter. And if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting out these every 5 days to go, well, every week to go with the Solitude League so everyone knows what's happening. And please, go check out my other content. I make my own Rocket League stuff, random games, Minecraft. So please, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.